Welcome to Learn to Fly Fish. Now the topic of today's video is how to cast effectively and safely in the wind. Now, no matter where you're fishing, at some point you're going to encounter the wind. Today, it's pretty windy out here, and we're going to look at three different wind scenarios. A headwind, a tailwind, and then when a wind is blowing onto your casting side. And I'm going to first cast with pretending I have a headwind. Actually, I'm going to face the direction of the wind, so I am going to cast to a headwind. And the way I'm going to deal with that wind is I'm going to cast with a high trajectory in the back, low in the front. I may add a little haul to my forward cast. I don't need one on the back cast. That haul is going to increase the line speed. I'm going to get a narrow loop. I want a narrow loop. I want it to unroll close to the surface. So when it does unroll and the fly starts to land, it doesn't get blown around by the wind as much, so I don't miss my target. Another way to deal with that is I'm going to cast on a horizontal plane. So let's get going with the first scenario. We've got a headwind under those two casts. Okay, let's take a look at the next wind is when we have a tailwind. Now the cast I'm going to do with the tailwind is, again, I can cast horizontally where there's a little less wind, but I also like to use what we call a constant tension cast or a Belgian cast. So let me show you what that looks like. Now that Belgium cast or that constant tension cast works because I've eliminated the pause on the back cast. And so there's no time for the wind to come in and distort the nose of my loop and create slack in my line. So I'm always maintaining tension between my fly and the rod tip in the line. So that's an important cast to know when you have a tailwind. You can also do a roll cast if it's not too windy, but that wouldn't be my preferred cast unless I didn't have room to do a Belgian cast. And now the most important situation relating to safety is when we have a wind blowing onto our casting shoulder. In this case, I have three different casts I'm going to do. If I have a light wind blowing onto my casting shoulder, again, I'm going to cast on a horizontal plane. It's going to keep the fly and the fly hook far distance away from me. I don't have to worry about it. If I have a stronger wind, I'm going to cast offside. So that means my line and my rod tip are going to be on the opposite side, downwind from the center line of my body. The wind's going to keep the fly safely away from me, no problem. If it's really windy and I need a little distance, I can do a back cast delivery. And if I say this right, it's also called a Bargonet Bay cast. That was developed on the East Coast for fishing stripers in very windy conditions. So let me show you all three of those different casts. Well, there's casting in three different wind directions. I hope that helps you out. Thank you for watching if you did, and we'll see you next time.